I kind of forgot what else I was supposed to say in this intro. Oh no, I'm not gonna remember the titles off the top of my head. Yes. Hi, hello, good morning, or good noon, as it is now. I filmed this intro already, however, I took it in portrait mode and I also was rambling, so maybe this will be better. Probably not. But yes, it has been probably 2 years since I filmed a booktube video, so since then, you might notice I chopped off all my hair, dyed it a number of times, I got like 8 piercings. My hair's being dramatic. I ended tattoo and I traveled abroad for 5 months, all of that fun stuff. And now I am back in an apartment, and perhaps one of the most exciting things in recent memory for me is that I now have room for a full-size bookshelf, and I can take all my books out of boxes and actually display things. And also I have my own room to decorate as I like, because I haven't actually had my own room for a extended period of time pretty much ever in my life. Like growing up, I shared with my sister. In college, I had roommates. After college, I had roommates. I had a semester off where, my roommate was abroad or something. But it's just very exciting and new, and I don't know how I will decorate, but for now, decorating means books. And I literally am sitting next to my mattress on the floor because I ordered a frame and it got canceled. But more importantly, I have a bookshelf. If this actually sees the light of day on YouTube, I will probably call it something like Back to Booktube Bookshelf Tour. Lots of book things. And I am just going to show you what I have. Most of these, a good half of the books I own, I actually haven't read. And I still have a bunch of books back at my parents' place because I couldn't get everything out in all at once. I'll show you what I have. I'll just turn around the camera and show you on the shelf because I don't feel like taking them out one by one. That doesn't make sense to me. I kind of forgot what else I was supposed to say in this intro. Obviously, most of my books are sci-fi fantasy, as you can probably tell. So there we go. I will show you my books. Okay. We're starting at the bottom. I should probably give you a full view of the whole shelf. I assume I'll have some footage of that. I did take footage of me putting them together, but I don't know how well that will fit in. Down here we have my graphic novels. Not nearly all of them. Most of my graphic novels are still back at home, but these are the big series I have, I guess. Most of what I have at home are either Buffy or Black Widow. So I have the Lazar Series, which I actually do highly recommend. I really enjoyed. Greg Rucka is or at least was, one of my favorite comic authors. I guess I'm not that up on it now, but I also read, I think it was him who did a Wonder Woman series. Well, not series. What is that called? A run of Wonder Woman that I really enjoyed. Hawkeye, by Matt Fraction. Also, this is one of my favorite. These are so cool. I haven't actually read this one, The Wicked and the Divine, and then I have all 10 saga volumes, which I think I've read half of, maybe, and I've probably read half of my Monstrous. I tried Watchmen at one point, but all of these are things I like and enjoy, and I'm excited to get back to them. This is a cute little book of horror stories. This I have read, and that was phenomenal. That was actually so much better than I was expecting. I know it has an award, and I know that it's a good book, but I was not expecting it to, hit the way it did. And I'm hiding just some, old books. The Paolini, the Aragon series, I'm keeping just because I want to try rereading it. I know there's a new book coming out, and I want to see how I feel about rereading it. And then these, I have all of these in mass market, but I was going to get, some hardcover copies. I don't know. We'll see. And then my language books, which is 90% Korean. There's one Spanish, but I found at actually a local used bookstore here, there was 40 of these kids books in Korean, which are just so cool, and I had to stop myself from not buying all 40 of them, because it seemed like it would be really neat to have, but I limited myself to 5, so that's good. And you will see I put some K-pop on these shelves already. I don't know how I'm going to plan to like display things, but I'll probably have some of that mixed in. These are my nonfiction, which I realized about half of them are from my sister that she gave me to read, and then I have not read, so that's very terrible of me, and I should get around to it. I'm sure she has great taste. But some of these are also just ones I found interesting. Most of those I am actually interested in getting to, and that's my 2 Baddies album. Alright, moving up, we have over here, this is mostly my like self-pub section, not on the end, but like from here to here-ish. I think you could not see that, it was on top. From here to here, I think this was like picked up, and this was picked up by like bigger publishers. But anyways, and obviously this is the 6 World series that hasn't been continued. I haven't read this. I haven't read most of these, but I'm interested. The Poppy War, I actually don't know how I'm gonna feel about the Poppy War, because I don't typically get along well with like schooling or like academy. Like, I know it's a war academy, but that type of thing, and I've heard that that's some people's favorite part, so we'll see. The First Sister, which I think was interesting. The Space Between Worlds, which I wasn't sure how long I want to display this, because I don't think the colors really pop, but it is one of my favorite books. And again, I'm just hiding another of the Aragon books, and like, I don't know, this copy of Kindred, I'm not even sure if it's an official copy. I don't know what happened there. And I mean, I did really enjoy Driftwood, but just some other books, because I don't have room and I want to show things off. The Broken Earth trilogy, I've read all but the last book, and these are phenomenal. I'm so looking forward to like rereading and getting to the last book. And then none of these have I read, but they are all very promising. Up here, my like sort of YA hardback section. I think most of these are YA. Yeah, I haven't actually read any of these, but they're all like this one's super shiny. I feel like these are all really nice additions. I feel like YA is sometimes nicer in that way than adult, because some of my adult editions are just bland. Obviously, I have Iron Widow displayed, which I really enjoyed, and then I put Savage Legion here because I was excited to find this used recently. I've been wanting to read it for a while. It just looks super cool. I mean, mostly the cover. It's a cover buy, but I've heard good things, and I thought that this was such a cool setup, and like violent red covers. Godblind also I haven't read, but I know it's very violent. I think camera work is terrible, but I have a few back here that are like older books, or I mean, Favorite Star goes with Black Sun. Black Sun I have read. Babel I started. This is Taeyang. Babel I started. This is sort of what I was talking about when I said like adult books are just kind of bland. Like, I got this new from Barnes & Noble, but like it's not shiny. It's not even got like very much depth to it or like an interesting feeling cover. It's just not very great. A few more, like I said, most of these I haven't read. These, like this, I wasn't really going to display, but it's so huge, it's like I have nowhere else to put it. I don't know, I've heard it's pretty meh, but I read part of it on audio. I'll try it out. The thing that annoys me about this is, why did you just put his name on the back? Like, that's not weird. Obviously, you need to put the title. Anyways, and this is a short story, Tor.com short stories, which might be fun. Moving up. These are, like, probably one of my most exciting recent buys, which is that I found like a really good set of Live Ship Traders used, and I haven't read these. My mom actually read these, and she was like, oh, have you heard of these? And I was like, oh, yes. Like, I've been wanting to get to these, because I haven't read any Robin Hobb, and I know most people start with whatever the Fitz trilogy is called, but I just, like, from what I've heard of that, I don't know if it'll be my thing, and these have me very excited. So even though I know it's not technically the starting place, I think that it's worth it to me to start here. And also, they're just gorgeous in hardback. Like, I saw these covers and I was like, yeah, I don't care, I need to have those. This is a Jacqueline Carey that I've read her other series, and so I was like, maybe I'll try this. This is a cool looking book, so I don't know. No. The dangers of having paperbacks displayed, but one of my favorite series so far. Again, the third book isn't actually here because I'm hoping to read it very, very soon. But this is also hard to display because I kind of like tabbed it to hell. But I wanted to display that one because it doesn't match the other two in size because it's an ARC. I also have the book plate, which I didn't really need to put inside because I actually got a signed copy from a giveaway, like signed and personalized, which is really cool. And then this is my other copy. I've been annotating these. I'm so excited for the third book and also nervous. Like, I don't actually think it's going to let me down, but finishing the series is still nerve-wracking. Here we have Young K, congratulations. The Belated Stars by Megan O'Keefe. I got this because I want to try this trilogy after reading, what's the trilogy? Ends with the Catalyst Gate. That one was really fun, so I'm excited to get into this. I've heard this sort of reminds me of like Constantine or something, the way I've heard it talked about. So, and these, I, again, am a terrible person. I won them signed through a giveaway and have yet to read them, but they look cool, and I will get to them. Alright, this is like my least exciting shelf by far. It's all my Book of the Month books, and I have been planning for a long time to just get rid of my Book of the Month books. I don't really like having them on my shelves. It's sort of like advertising, and it's not even that, but like the quality of these, I just don't find them super fun to read. Like, half the fun of having physical books is how they feel, and these don't feel great to me. And obviously they take up lots of space and stuff. But I'm not going to get rid of them without at least reading them or trying to read them. So yeah, so it takes up almost a whole shelf. And these are also like not genre sorted. Like, there's a couple nonfiction in here, and I didn't really know how I want to make them look nice, so I just put them by size. And then this duology, which I'll probably get rid of after I finish it, and a couple romance. And then these are like the last of my regular paperbacks. I didn't really know what to do them. I was trying to do YA, but like I don't have that many YA paperbacks. So The Keeper of Night is a fabulous book and very beautiful though. And then I hid some of my less SFF books. I mean, almost all my books are SFF to some degree. But okay, we're going to get a chair. Alright. Star Wars. Yay. All of these, like, I am due to reread my Star Wars books because I started reading Star Wars high school, pre-high school, something like that. So I have read all of my Star Wars books, which is impressive considering like most sections of this shelf I have not read, but a lot of them I really want to get to reread. The Republic Commando was just like one of my favorite series ever when I read it. It was so good and like devastating. I also remember really liking Outbound Flight in particular. Obviously I have a lot of Timothy Zahn here and I really enjoyed Timothy Zahn, but I remember Outbound Flight being particularly cool to me at the time. And then obviously the Heir to the Empire trilogy I want to reread. Behind these I do have more books, just some like one-offs mostly that I want to get to. I'm not going to take everything out to show you. Those are just things. This is my Wisma Master Bejeweled series. What is this series called? I don't remember. The Vorkosigan Saga? That's it. The Vorkosigan Saga. So this is like, I don't know, not even half of that series, but I have read the first two and had such a good time with them. So I'm looking forward to those. I found this old copy of Dune and I started annotating, but like I didn't get very far in. But like I decided I wanted to find books that would match this. So I have the first three in like these really old copies, which I think are cool. Back there is just my Lord of the Rings series, which I have actually never read, so I was like, I don't actually need to display this and pretend like I've read Lord of the Rings. Not that I've read Dune either. So, you know, I'm a liar, but it's okay. And then, finally, my Cushiel trilogy. Yet again, so many of my trilogies, I've read and loved the first two, and I just haven't got to the last book. These ones I don't think I'll reread the first two, because, I don't know, I took my time with them, and I feel like I actually remember a lot of it. But I do plan to get to the last book soon and maybe continue on with the next trilogy. I know people are like, no, it's still good afterwards, but like you're not following Phaedra anymore. Or I don't know if I say her name correctly, but so like what is the point? I don't know. And on top, I just have more K-pop. I still have to decide how I'm going to organize and display, but for now. So that is the shelf. I am very excited. I do have more books back at home. I actually have like 7 books of Wheel of Time, because at one point I was very delusional and thought that that was a thing that I was gonna do. And then I also have more comics and like some books that I've already read. Most of the books I've already read are actually at home, because I was like, I don't need to bring these because I'm not gonna read them soon. So I plan to bring those back in around Christmas. But I'm just keep coming into my room and like looking at my bookshelf and being like, wow, that's so pretty. Now I need to actually read them. Problem with filming horizontally is my phone does not sit by itself nearly as well. But yeah, that's my bookshelf. Like I said, I am very excited. So far as like future videos or things, I don't have very concrete plans, but I do have like 4 or 5 arcs that I have had that I'm behind on. And by behind, I mean they were all like August through October releases, and I thought I was ahead. I was like in late July, early August, I was like, oh, I've got this. These are all books I really want to read, which they are. But then like with the move and everything, it's like I just lost a month, and it's August now. I think it's August now. It's October now, and I'm like, what? I think those are like, oh no, I'm not gonna remember the titles off the top of my head. One of them that I'm almost done with is The Phoenix King, which like the writing in that is actually phenomenal. The prose I've really been enjoying, and also like the dialogue. Anyways, we'll get to that. One of my videos might just be like, these are some arcs of recent books. Obviously, The Labyrinth's Heart, the 3rd book in the Broken Rose, is also one of those. And then I think I mentioned going over my shelves. I really want to read some Star Wars books, so I think that would be a fun vlog type thing. Also some clear your shit content thanks to Andy and the narrator, I suppose. Or just general, I don't know, who knows, end of year type of things, but it's kind of hard to do end of year type of things when you don't really have end of year like stats or things to look back on. Who knows? Thank you if you have watched so far, and feel free to like, subscribe, all those things. I think my least favorite part of filming is editing, so I'm trying to get to a point where I can mostly not edit. I mean, like, not edit, but before, when I was filming videos, I would just like pause and retake things so many times that editing took me so long to get through a video. And so I'm like, just do it like one take type style, and if it's a little bit rambly or I pause and say or whatever, then it's fine. That's better than like spending 2 hours editing, a 20-minute video or whatever. It's fine. That's the plan. I still feel like I have been awkward and like talking in a way that is maybe not myself, but we'll see how it evolves as things go and I get more used to filming videos again. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. I have to go get ready for work, sort of. Thankfully I work at home, so I don't actually have to get ready for anything. I literally just hop on the computer. But I will probably, hopefully, read some before then. So, bye. See you later, perhaps.